Greetings to all our listeners out there. Thank you so much for joining in once more. This is myself, DJ Hotlane. Welcome you to the show here on Vuga Online Radio for the Africa's Leaders in Sustainability show. We have today a very special guest for you, and I hope that everyone is very excited to find out who it is, what they do, and what they have to say. So it is going to be an amazing show. Please, whilst we wait to introduce you to our guest, please note that we are on social media. Check us on Vuga Online Radio, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and on vugaonlineradio.co.za. You can stream in live on there as well. And without further ado, also, yes, please like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends, tell everybody that you know, spread the word that there's good news happening. So today's guest, I'm going to keep you waiting. Today's guest is Palisa. Palisa is from Port Elizabeth, formerly known as Port Elizabeth, which is now known as Gqeberha. It's in the Eastern Cape of South Africa. And she is doing amazing work. She has done amazing work, and she will keep on doing amazing work. And she's going to tell us why we need to also pay attention to what is happening around and what she is doing to actually create an impact in her society, in the environment, and at the world and the continent at large. So before we get to our guests, we're gonna go on a mini short break for just some time, and then we'll be back and introduce you to the guests. Thank you.
The home of inspiration every day.
Most people give up on themselves easily. You know the human spirit is powerful.
From news.
Countries across the globe have been hit by the COVID-19 virus.
Views.
There's a global trend to see an increase in GBV incidences, specifically domestic violence.
Sports.
What's he say? It's a really good ball. It's Shabalala.
And music to inspire you every day. This is Vuga Online, your inspiration radio station.
Welcome back. I hope you did that. We discussed earlier on the introduction on our YouTube on our website. And then Palisa is also going to share hers as well. So Palisa, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you so much, DJ Hotline, for having me online. Hello to all the listeners. My name is Palisa Ntsala, and I am originally from Matatiela, which is in the Eastern Cape, former Transkei. It's a very beautiful community there. I am currently living in Gqeberha. I work at Nelson Mandela University. I work for the PV Research Group, which is a solar panel research institute. And I also work for PVinsight, where we test solar panels, and I'm an engagement coordinator there. But on the side, I also work with young people trying to advocate for environmental advocacy and empowering young people to be catalysts of change and to take a stand, and do something in their own community. So I'm very passionate about enterprise development and local economy. That's what I am passionate about, and that's what I would like the young people to start getting into. So yeah, thank you so much for having me on the line.
No, it is a pleasure. Thank you for coming to be on the show. It's really amazing work that you're doing and that you've done. And before we get into that work, I want us to have that conversation solely on the work that you've done and what you did. But for now, What I would like to know from you with regards to the work you do, what have been like the best moments for you, like your highlights, what makes you happy? Like, what's the best moments for you about being in the sustainable space?
Oh, that's such a good question. Thank you so much. I think the highlights for me is, okay, so when you do community work and you engage with different people from different backgrounds, it's so fulfilling when you see the light sparks in their eyes, when you tell them that it's possible, that doing work like this is not something that is very far away. It's something that you can do as a community member. You don't have to have a certain degree for you to actually practice sustainability or actually teach people about sustainability, especially in our Black communities. It's very difficult there because like the most thing that when you get to the communities, the most conversations that are being had is that there's like crime and stuff like that. So when you try to talk about sustainability, it's a bit difficult. But when you remind people that sustainability is who we are, and that for me is beautiful. So I was working on a project, it's called Motherwell Community and Enviro Hub, where people from Motherwell, they came together. So it was started by 3 women who were doing recycling for over 24 years in 3 very old shipping containers. But then in 2020, we started joining hands with other organizations and other like-minded people to redevelop the area using waste. It's such a beautiful center, and I love what it stands for because it stands as a beacon of hope for the community of Motherwell that is known for crime and many other horrible things. So the space is used for environmental education for learners, for the community. There's also farming that is going on there. They're working with local farmers, using sustainable ways of farming. So that for me is beautiful when you see communities coming together, working together towards the same goal. That for me is what really touches my heart.
Amazing stuff. That is a lot of amazing work and a lot of good work. And when did that, you said, when did that start? When did you start being involved in that project?
I started being involved in 2020. I was working for an organization called Sustainable Seas Trust at the time. So we partnered with other partners in Gqeberha, like Belinda Clark, Therese Bull, Swartkops Conservancy. We came together to upgrade the facility. It was actually upgraded by amazing architecture company called RBL Architects. They usually do architects for like big, very fancy building, but it was very humbling for them to learn to learn new ways of construction, you know, like using waste in a sustainable way. It was a very humbling moment for all of us because most of us were not like used to that kind of thing. So if you're an architect, you know that you do like all the big, beautiful buildings, but upgrading a community center has a very beautiful thing that is in it. So yeah.
Okay, wow. Interesting. That's so Motherwell, you said, is the community, correct? Yeah.
Yes.
So has Motherwell been like is it affected a lot by crime? And is it affected a lot by crime? And are there any job opportunities that are provided by the center as well?
Okay, yes. So Motherwell is like, if you go on Google and you search Motherwell, I'm sure the first thing that will come up is that crime does. So like many other Black and colored communities. So the center provided employment for young people within the community where they were hired to do construction work. I remember there's a guy who is part of the construction workers. He said that before he started working at the center, he was doing drugs. So like being part of that, the whole community thing, and knowing that I'm going somewhere to make a difference and also to get money from it, it helped him overcome his addiction. And those stories are the stories that empower me, that I can do more. If I can change this one person's life, imagine what I can do if I can do it at a larger scale with even more partners, because it's possible to do it. What we have to do is that we have to join hands and work together.
Well, that says a lot about the importance of sustainability, actually, that it's not only about just taking care of nature, because we can't take care of nature if we're not healthy. We can't take care of nature if we ourselves are not, we don't have any source of income. It becomes a bit of a challenge to actually have that relationship with our environment. And to get more information as well becomes a challenge. So that work that you've done, I'm pretty sure that it has benefited a lot of people. And that is why we call this show Africa's Leaders in Sustainability. And that is why you are here, Jesse. So now, thank you so much for sharing that with us. And I hope the listeners are listening as well, that in this industry, there's a lot more that can be done to actually change the situation that we are currently in, to change the economic situation, to change the lifestyles of any substance abuse, of any activities that are not society friendly, like crime, substance abuse, and other related activities which have a negative impact on society. So thank you for sharing that, Palisa. And right now, I'm going to ask, we're going to go in a short break. And then when we come back, we're going to speak a little bit more about what are the more benefits that can be done, and what you see yourself doing in future, actually, to make your impact a lot more bigger on a larger scale. So we'll be back.
The Africa Center for Work-Based Learning is a professional development center for professionals who aim to improve their professional standing. This means that the learning programs we run are more than just academic programs. They are work-based programs that focus on leveraging your current experience as a professional to build your overall profile. A year down the line, the Africa Center for Work-Based Learning is developing into a preferred center for professional development in Pretoria, with 8 professional development faculties including accounting, teaching, entrepreneurship, as well as IT and many more. For more information, go to acwbl.org or dial +27 12 751 7608. The Africa Center for Work-Based Learning, where work is learning.
Welcome back. This is Vuga Online Radio, Africa's Leaders in Sustainability show, with myself, DJ Hotlane, and Palisa Ntsala. We are speaking about what she does, who she is, and goodness, esebenza lo muntu, asebenza, obereka, thusa batho, thusa sitjhaba, thusa lefatshe. So if you missed the introduction, no worries. We have your back. Just stay tuned till the end of the show, and I will tell you where to find the rest of it. As for now, Palisa, welcome back. What would you like to what would you like to see happening in the country? Like, I know you've done a lot of work, and what more would you like to see from the country itself, from more communities themselves in terms of participating in this industry of renewables, recycling, green economy, ocean economy, and conservation? What more would you like to see from the nation at large?
Thank you so much for that. I think before I answer that question, I just want to say that it's very important to talk about perspective when you talk about sustainability. In what perspective are you talking about sustainability? Because if you're talking about sustainability in the African context, then we are sustainability. I think we have now grown to divorce ourselves from nature. Now we think that we live outside of nature and nature is nature. But if we go back to our roots, if we go back to who we truly are as Africans, we live amongst the nature as part of nature. And if we can go back to that, that is where the answers are, because sustainability is who we are. We've always lived sustainability. Even today, I'm sure DJ Hotlane, like, how you to go, if you go buy groceries, when you come back, there's a special shelf there where you put all your plastic bags. That's sustainability. No one has to teach you that, because that's how you grew up. So I think African people really need to get to that, because sustainability as a definition has many, many definitions. But if in the African context, it's in the culture, it's in the principles, it's in the way of living. If you look at every other African country, we live sustainability. And I think if I can speak to the African nation or to South Africa, we need to go back to who we are and stop this consumerism mindset and being extravist and extracting and consuming, because that's not who we are. That's truly not who we are. We need to go back to who we truly are as Africans. And I think if we talk about sustainability in the sense that, for example, if you do farming, the way that we do farming, it's sustainable farming. It's always been. So we cannot say then that, oh, we don't know what to do. When we do, we've always been doing that. Our grandfathers knew that if you plant here, for example, for many years, then you need to give this piece of land some time for it to replenish its nutrients, and then you plant on another piece of land. So we can use those traditional knowledge systems and use with the technology that we have right now. But how can we do that? By including people like traditional leaders, like including abantu abadala from our communities, and asking them that, what do we do? What did you used to do back in the days? And then we incorporate that in our education systems. We incorporate that in the way that we produce or we farm. We incorporate that in our way of living, because recycling, we've always done recycling. We've always done we've always been sustainable because it's within our culture. It's who we are. And we need to get to remember that the spirit of Ubuntu, which is the African, in the African context, it means that umntu ngumntu ngabantu. So you cannot be, one family cannot be hungry while you eat. So we need to bring that back. What does that mean? Partnership and collaboration. So we need to partner as communities, knowing that we're working towards one goal, which is regenerating the earth. It needs to breathe. Because the reason why these things are happening is because we've been extracting from nature and not allowing it to replenish its nutrients and not allowing it to just regenerate, because it does that naturally. But now we're using pesticides, we're using fertilizers to try and get, but that's not what we should do. So I think we need to really get into who we are as people and start doing the things the way that our forefathers, our great-grandfathers used to do with the new technology that we have.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. And that, yes, you actually answered my question, by the way. So that is one of the ways that we actually need to work on. I remember me, myself growing up, everything around me was recycling. Everything around me was farming. Plastics, for example. sort of like she was sewer. So she used to sew plastic, and then would make like this nice tableclothy type of style with her sewing. And some of them would store them, obviously would kept on reusing. I won't tell you when was this. I'm still very young. So, and also with papers as well. Papers used to fold them nicely. We used to use them as a storage we used to use them as cleaning materials. We used to use them as protection from dust and cupboards. There was just many ways we could actually engage with our environment. And she actually had, and my grandfather, they actually had a way of adjusting to the times without losing the traditional way of doing things, just reusing, recycling. It was amazing. It was amazing. So yeah, no, that's true. We need to go back to that. What do you think is causing this extraction mindset? Because now we're going to the ocean we're extracting oil from the ocean, deep sea mining. So we're not going back. We're not stopping as human beings. We keep going.
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
I say, what do you think causes that mindset of just over extraction and consumption, with less of recycling and rehabilitation of our environments?
I think if we can have that conversation, then we'd have to go way back before colonialism, because that's where the extraction mindset stems from. That's where it stems from. And we cannot talk about sustainability and the way that things are without tapping into that, because everything started there. That's where it all started. When like the Europeans and the Western countries came into Africa, and they started taking minerals, started taking people to go farm in their own countries, and we lost that. We lost who we are, and the way that, because we knew that the earth, you have to give it time to replenish itself, because the nutrients are there, because we knew that we are part of nature. Nature is here to take care of us, and we are supposed to take care of nature. So now we have forgotten, I think we have forgotten who we are as people, which is why now, even us, you just buy things that you don't need. And at the end of the day, you just throw it away, which is like, why are you doing that? Like, then we need to go back to the root of it. Like, where is it stemming from, and how can we then change our own mindsets to go back to the way that our forefathers used to do things? This is not to say that then we're going to go to the bushes and start hunting again or be hunter-gatherers. No, it means that the principles that were used back in the days were useful. They were working. Then we need to use those principles into the modern world, which is why that it's important to support community groups that are doing actually that, because there are community groups that are doing that are doing sustainable farming, helping one another, doing all these beautiful things, but it's very difficult for them because they don't have funding. There's no funding. And if they get funding, but there's a certain narrative that needs that someone who's giving them funding, they need to drive this kind of narrative. It shouldn't be like that. We need to start supporting, we need to start celebrating them. When I was speaking about Motherwell being known for crime and not being known for the center that is trying to change people's lives, that needs to change. It needs to change. We need to start talking about the things that are actually working in our own community, in our own society, to change the mindset, that kind of mindset. Put it out there, put it on social media, talk about these organizations and look for funding for them, help them in any way that we can. So I think as communities, we need to come together. See, we need to stop this individualistic mindset, because it's not who we are. It's embedded in who we are. Like, we need to stop that. If we can stop that individualistic mindset and put our heads together and ask from the elders. That's how it needs to be. You ask from the elders, what we do now, because they know.
Okay.
They know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's very true. I'm just conscious now of our break time. We need to have the break. It's very important. It's very important. But it's very important points that you mentioned, actually, how this all started, who we are. But we'll come back. We'll come back.
The home of inspiration every day.
Most people give up on themselves easily. You know the human spirit is powerful.
From news,
Countries across the globe have been hit by the COVID-19 virus.
views,
There's a global trend to see an increase in GBV incidences, specifically domestic violence.
sports,
What's he say? It's a really good ball. It's Shabalala.
and music to inspire you every day. This is Vuga Online, your inspiration radio station.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you very much for staying on the show, and thank you very much to our guest, Palisa. Very informative session. There's a lot more that's going on. However, it is very easy, very simple. It's simple, straight in how remember who you are. Okay, then you don't get this over right. So Vuga Online Radio.co.za, Vuga Central on YouTube, Vuga Online Radio, on social medias, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. Just be yourself. Go back to your roots. Don't forget what you were taught, how you were raised. Logo when TV. That's it. So choose my kids. Marongas Moshi. Anyway, so, but yeah, our listeners out there, they're listening to you, Palisa. And I believe that you have a very special role and something very special to share with them. How can they join you on this journey? How can they join in on this environmental sustainability journey? Like any formal platforms that they can use, any programs, or where do they need to start? Somebody that doesn't know, what can they do?
That's such a good question, because like sometimes you hear all these things, you're like, okay, where do I start? I would say you start where you are. Start in your community. Start having these conversations. Start being inquisitive and asking the elders, and like organizing awareness campaigns and getting in touch with people, like-minded people. So through the Catwalk Youth Development Agency, which is the way that the organization that I work with to empower young people to be catalysts of change, we run programs like enterprise development, climate change. We talk about all sort of things because everything is connected. You cannot talk about like sustainability alone and climate change alone and waste alone. We need to put them together and come up with holistic strategies that actually are going to address all these things together, because they are connected. And we need to stop thinking of them as like in isolation. And we also need to stop working in isolation. So if you're working somewhere around the country and you're doing something and you're looking for people, like-minded people, go to social media and start partnering with like-minded people, because greater impact comes from collaboration of like-minded people and partnerships. That's where you're going to see impact. That's where you're going to see that, okay, I'm doing something. Because if you're doing it in your own community, you're going to get tired that I'm not doing anything. This is not going anywhere. What do I do? Start associating yourself with like-minded people. Start doing that. Start where you are.
True. And to be honest, I also didn't know. But it is, like I said, it's something that has always been there. I've always been surrounded by it. But like you said, it was just a way of living. It wasn't a way that we need to fight against X, Y, and Z, mining, climate change, all those things. No, it was just a way of living. So now we grow, we go through phases of wanting to study this, wanting to be this, an actor, a doctor, philosopher, soccer player, basketball, go through all those entire processes only to find that who you are, who I am as a person, is actually sustainable, in a sustainable, more social impact space. That's how I was raised. And that's very important for me, as it helped me identify what space that I have and what's my role in this whole world. And I do believe that, yes, that's the first thing that needs to happen for everyone. Just remember, TV, just maybe reset your mind. And then find yourself. Everybody will find themselves in sustainability, I believe.
And you find yourself within yourself. You find yourself in you. You don't find yourself out there. You find yourself, within you. So I like what you're saying, that like you found yourself, that this is what you need to do, social like enterprises and stuff like that. Because that's the kind of like movement I would like to start together with Ulusanda Msevi, one of my friends and business partners. We want to start a movement of young change makers. So we call them scholars for change. Because our ancestors, or like our parents, they sacrificed a lot for us to go to school, for us not to give back to the community. So we need to use the knowledge that we have gained from university, from school, from everywhere, to pay back to the community. So for example, if you are a photographer, start going to communities and photographing beautiful things that are happening there and posting them online. Not only are you putting positivity about your community, but you're also developing your profile. So we need to start doing something with the knowledge and the skills that we have.
Yes, very wise words, definitely. And you look, it's gonna take some time, but we will definitely get there. And you and your business partner, your friend Lusanda, are doing amazing work. And as I say, keep going, don't stop. It's a lifestyle. It's a culture. It's who we are. It's a lifetime thing. So it doesn't happen overnight. With that said, the challenges. Just want to close off with the challenges of what you, especially as Catwalk development, you and your business partner, what are the challenges that you are facing in terms of wanting to achieve what your goals are?
Oh, so the challenge that we have currently is funding. So we don't have funding at all to start implementing the programs that we would like to implement, because we have a lot of programs and a lot of ideas that are going to improve our own communities. But we don't have funding to do that. And we don't have like a space and a education space or a training space. So we always have to partner with an organization, or we partner with the university so that we can use their space. So that's where we are at the moment. But hopefully, not hopefully, it will happen. We'll get funding and we can start implementing and starting a movement of young people who are advocates for social change and local economic development and sustainability.
Amazing. Lovely. Okay. We're gonna go on another short ad break. And then when we come back, we're going to say bye-bye.
The Africa Center for Work-Based Learning is a professional development center for professionals who aim to improve their professional standing. This means that the learning programs we run are more than just academic programs. They are work-based programs that focus on leveraging your current experience as a professional to build your overall profile. A year down the line, the Africa Center for Work-Based Learning is developing into a preferred center for professional development in Pretoria, with 8 professional development faculties including accounting, teaching, entrepreneurship, as well as IT and many more. For more information, go to acwbl.org or dial +27 12 751 7608. The Africa Center for Work-Based Learning, where work is learning.
Welcome back. Thank you very much for joining us on Vuga Online Radio. Very informative, very progress-driven show. Africa's leaders in sustainability. That's where so you just get yourself involved, find who you are, go into social media, live as soft life. We are in the soft life here. So soft life with eco without sustainability. So Ninga's duty. Palisa, thank you so much. I just wanted to find out from you, how can people get in touch with Catwalk Development and yourself? Where do they find you guys?
So Catwalk Youth Development Agency, short, we say it's CYDA. We are on Instagram. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook and LinkedIn. You can also, if you're looking for me, you can just search Palisa Ntsala on LinkedIn, on Instagram. I don't use Facebook that much, but you can also find me on Facebook. So my name is not spelled like the normal Palisa. That's a different conversation, but it's Palisa. So Palisa Ntsala, Ntsala. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Palisa. Palisa Ntsala.
Yes.
100% on social media. So yeah, and this is our guest, Palisa, and I really appreciate the time that you spent with myself, with us here on Vuga Online Radio, with the listeners. I'm pretty sure that they've gained something today, and yeah, they'll get in touch with you. Please, they'll comment on Vuga Online Radio, with DJ Hotlane. But it doesn't have to be us. Just do something, and we move forward. Palisa, I see a quote.
Oh, okay. Wow. I think, that's a very out of the blue question. I'm just thinking now, okay, I never thought of a quote before. I think what I would like to leave the listeners with is remember who you are. Truly, that's where the answers are. That's where you find all the answers, when you truly stay true to who you are and stay true to yourself. If you're an African, stay true to who you are. You don't have to try and be someone else but yourself. So and drive positive change and kindness, because people need love. We all need love. And I think truly love is what is the main ingredient to solving so many things that are happening around the world. So thank you for having me.
No, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much for the session today. So thank you to the listeners for listening in. And yeah, we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye, Palisa.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Ciao.